What's up guys, Dave Moss Jr. And behind me here are two of the most purchased pieces of cold plunge equipment. I'm gonna teach you the 3 easiest ways to cool your water in any of the cold plunges out there. Let's jump right in. Number 1, and perhaps the easiest way to get cold right now, if you live anywhere other than where I live, which is in the sunshine state of Florida, it's probably cold outside. And if you live somewhere where the climate is freezing, all you have to do is have an ice barrel, a galvanized tub, trough, or anything that can hold water, fill it with water and place it outside. Chances are it's gonna freeze over and you're gonna have really, really cold water where you can experience cold water therapy. Option number 2, which is probably the most common option, is to either make or buy ice. That's right, you can have, once again, an ice barrel or anything that holds water, fill it up with water, but then go to the store and purchase ice, or you can make ice using either Ice Barrel has these beautiful silicone molds that make beautiful 1.5 pound blocks of ice, which are really, really good for keeping your water cold, or if you have an ice maker yourself, or if you just want to find another creative way to make ice, using ice to cool your water down is probably the most common way to cool your water down so that you can experience cold water therapy at home. And then number 3, which is the way I'm forced to get my water cold, that is using a chiller. Now, if you see here, this is my little DIY chiller setup that I have. I've hooked it up to my Ice Barrel 400. I've also hooked it up to my Ice Barrel 300. I have a few videos where I show you exactly how to do it and even have kits to make it super, super simple. But using a chiller, which is basically a little refrigerant where the water is going to pass through these cold lines, cooling the water, and then put the water back into the tub using a pump. A lot of times you use a filter, but doing this is a very, very effective way to control the temperature. You can set it to the exact temperature that you want, and you can control when the water is going to be cold, which I think is extremely valuable to be able to choose your temperature so that you can measure and monitor your cold plunges and constantly gradually get a little bit colder and stay in a little bit longer. But number 3 is using an actual chiller. Now, as we're talking about chillers, and maybe the reason I decided to make this video in the first place is I receive a lot of private messages every day from people all over the world asking for advice on which chiller should I buy, how should I set this up, or even, hey, I purchased this chiller from Alibaba.com or something. I don't know. There's a lot of chillers that are coming out. There's a lot of companies trying to jump into this crazy cold plunging market. And I just want to tell you guys something. If I'm purchasing a chiller, 99% of the time it's going to be the active Aqua chiller. You know why? Because I've used it since day one. They've been on the scene since day one. It's the same chiller that Plunge used when they first came out with their Plunge. It's the same chiller that Mod Tub uses, and it's a great chiller. Now, there are some companies that are coming out with chillers right now that are designed for the cold plunge community, and Ice Barrel is about to announce and launch their chiller, which I'm extremely excited about. But I just wanted to do like a little PSA and say, please be careful when you're purchasing a chiller that has no real reputation behind it. I always prefer using Active Aqua. You can purchase them on Amazon. They're tried and true, and they work really, really well. And if you want to get one or use what I've been using for years, I put links in the description of basically every one of my videos to make it super, super simple. All right, quick lunch break with the fam here. You know, sometimes it's important when you find really, really good high quality products to share them with your friends. And these are MASA Chips, and I'm sure you've probably never even heard of them. So for lunch today, I'm gonna have some nachos with grass-fed beef, grass-fed cheese, and MASA Chips, which are seed oil free, organic corn tortilla chips. They are absolutely delicious and the highest quality chips I've ever found on the market, and you probably have never ever heard of them. So I wanted to share them with you today. If you want to try some MASA Chips, go ahead and check out the link in the description below. No, this is not sponsored. I just truly believe when you find something good, you should tell the world. So MASA Chips, you guys rock. Check out that link down below and get yourself some MASA Chips on that discount. All right, let's get back to the show. And there you have it. I just wanted to make a simple, short video explaining the 3 best ways for you to get cold and for you to experience cold water therapy at home. So let's recap. Number 1 is just leaving your barrel outside in the freezing weather and letting it chill or freeze over. Number 2 is by buying or using ice. And number 3, by using a continuous cold plunge chiller, which I live in Florida. Like I've said a couple times, I'm kind of forced to use a chiller. Here we are 2 days before Christmas and it's like 80 degrees outside. I just got out of a cold plunge and I'm baking in the sun. Like, yeah. But hey, that's me. I want to hear about you. Which one of these 3 methods are you using currently to get cold? And hey, if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below. I love to engage with my friends and family out there in the wellness community. And if you have any suggestions or a question for a future video, pop those down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you on the next video, and God bless. And hey, one last thing before you go. If you're curious what the steps are to make a DIY like this setup are, just go ahead and click on this video right here, and it'll go through every step in great detail.